No. When the camera starts, I'll just stand here just like this. Ah, look at that. Yeah, my shirt's a little extra small, and I've been working out in the gym. Yeah, and they'll be like, whoa, this dude's serious today. What? Oh, hi. Hello. Welcome back. Today we are covering some more CSS properties. And what we are going to cover today is the, looking down here, text transform and text decoration. All right. So without further ado, let's go on ahead and get started. All right. So this should be fun. Okay, let's go on ahead. Let's open up our Visual Studio Code. And we're going to be creating two files. And the first one, since we're working with the actual text transform and the text decoration, let's call it just that. Let's see here. We'll open this up here. And we'll create the actual file. And we'll call it text transform and it's going to be text decoration. We'll just keep the text out. So that's HTML. And let's create the actual CSS file as well. Text transform and decoration.css. That'll work. We'll open this up using Live Server, which is again one of our actual extensions which you can download for Visual Studio Code. And we'll close this out and let's shrink this down a little bit. I think that'll work. And let's go on ahead and add some actual markup. So the first is our bare bones boilerplate, exclamation mark and tab or enter will give us that. And this here, we're just working with, what are we working with here? Text transform. So we'll just put transform and decoration. So again, just adding yet some more CSS properties and values and declarations and rules. So let's link our CSS file to the actual HTML page. And we did call that text transform and decoration.css. And let's refresh that. That looks good over there. So now let's just add a little bit of markup. And let's see here, just so we can see something on the screen, we'll give it an H1 and H1. There we go. And this is going to be text transform. All right. And decoration. There we go. Good. Now let's give ourselves a couple of H2s, or at least a few of them. So the first one will be an H2 with an ID of uppercase, because that's what some of our actual text transform is going to actually do. Let's see here. There we go. And just a little bit of fake font here, some text. We'll go with Lorem 5. That should do. Good. And let's do the same thing below that. Let's see here. An H2, and we'll give it an ID of lowercase. Okay. And also going to add a class here. And I actually will do that after, just so we can see that. Let's do one more over here and give that an ID of capitalize. And these IDs, this is pretty much just how we're going to actually reference the actual text within the CSS file. Capitalize, if I can spell it right. Good. And all right, so we got three things there. That font alone is a little hard to look at, so I'm just going to make a universal change here. Okay, just so I can look at a little crisper font. That looked a little better, but let's go on ahead. Let's split this down and actually get to the actual text transform. So let's split this down. I'll close this out. We can see our markup at the top. That's our HTML, and our CSS, which is going to be at the bottom. And let's work with this ID first. So how do we target that? We target it with the £, and we're going to use the ID name of uppercase. And then we're going to open up those curly braces. And then what we're going to do is make sure that it is actually given the actual value. Let's see here. We're working with text transform, so it's exactly how it sounds. Oh, you know what? Let's change the color just so we know which one we're working with, which is going to be right below the ID, but let's give it a text color of red. And now that you're looking at the color of red, that's the one where we're going to change the text, the actual, we're going to add the property of text transform. So let's do that. Text transform. There's our property, but now let's give it a value of uppercase. And now you'll notice to the left that all of the actual letters within that are uppercase. So that covers that. All right, let's go down and tackle the actual markup with the lowercase ID, which is right here. So that's called lowercase. So let's use that, lowercase. And open up the rule, and what we're going to do is we'll give it a color of green, so you notice it on the screen to the left, and it is now green. And now let's also use the text transform property, and let's give that a value of lowercase. Oh, but if you notice, it's already really in lowercase except for the first letter, so that's going to be a little tough to see. So let's leave it blank and add what we can do here, we can add that. Let's see here. Is it? Oh, well, I know what we can do. We want to make it lowercase, so let's make everything in here uppercase from the beginning. So let's see, some text to deal to work with. Happy face. All right. Now what we can do is go on ahead, and now that that text just happens to magically be uppercase, let's go on ahead and use the text transform to make it lowercase. So text transform, and we want it to be lowercase. And now you've seen it actually turn from uppercase to lowercase. So that covers that. All right, and now let's go through, let's see here. Oh, capitalize. Let's work with that bad boy. So the ID within our CSS file is going to be capitalize. Good. So that works out. And let's go on ahead and make it capitalize. So it's the last text that we have on our left. And text transform. And we are going to make sure it is, oh wait, are we doing capitalize? Yeah, okay. So capitalize. So what happened here? All right, just in case you missed it on the screen, we'll get rid of it. Okay, and we have one capital letter here, which is the beginning of the sentence. Let me just change that. Okay, and no capitalizations. Let's add it here. Oh, not that. Capitalize, and now what do we see? Every word, every first letter on the actual word is now capitalized. Okay, that's if you wanted to do that. All right, so that covers that. That covers your text transform. Now let's go on ahead and work with the actual text decoration. So before we can do that, let's go on ahead and add an actual link. So that we'll have it go nowhere. And for the actual text, we'll say click here for more. And this comes up a lot. Usually what you'll have an actual line of text, which you can see right here. And for some reason, you may want to get rid of that line. All right, so let's add, let's go over here and let's add a class called line through, which is kind of giving you a hint as to how that's going to work. And another class here, and we'll call this underline. All right, which kind of gives you a hint as how that's going to actually work. Okay, and then what we can do, let's work with the underline one here first, which is going to be this one here. It's the last one here. That's perfect. So let's add that class and see what we're going to do. How are we going to use the text decoration property to actually work with that? So we got line. Oh, it's a class. So let's do, oh, which one are we working with here? The underline. So we need the dot and the underline. And then from there, what we're going to do is we're not using the text transform now, we're using text decoration. So again, yet another property value that you're actually, or property that you're learning today. So, and right now it is, let's see, oh, there's no underline at all. So let's actually use that. Let's underline that and look to our left, and there it is. So the actual text, follow the cursor, highlight it here, and there's now an actual line there. All right, and just in case you missed it, I'll get rid of it. No line there, and add the I back here for the complete underline, and wait for it to refresh, and there it is. There's your line. So now you have a line under there. Let's actually target the actual URL, and what we're going to do here, we'll just say A, so we'll just get the selector will be the actual A. And text decoration, it already has a line under it, but I don't want a line, so I'm going to say text, not emphasis, text decoration, which is going to be set to none, and the line is now gone. All right, and last but not least, let's work with the actual line through. Let me place it up here just to kind of keep it in order. So we're dealing with line through, where it says some text to work with the actual happy face that has not appeared in there. So let's go on ahead and work on that. And what do we add in there? We are going to place an actual line through. So text decoration line through. And there we now have a line through the actual text, which usually happens when if you're working at a newspaper editor and you're trying to make a revision on some text where the story was just not correct and you needed to make a correction. Sometimes you will leave the comment that was fixed or was actually an error, make a line through it, and then put the actual the correct verbiage after it or before it. Okay, here we actually added the actual line through, and here we actually got rid of the line, which is by default on URLs, there's always a line underneath there. And that is it for today. Very good. Text transform and text decoration, two additional properties that you now have under your belt, which was definitely going to help with our arsenal when we actually start building some actual web applications. All right, subscribe to the actual channel. Place a like if you do like it. And of course, you can always hit the notifications so you're always alerted as to when new material is coming out. Like for example, there's like 10 videos coming out today. So you want to be, you want to be in the loop as to what's actually going on. Okay. All right. If you have any questions, leave a comment. And of course, that is it for today. Subscribe to the channel. Full Stack out.